Hello everyone, welcome back to Fraud on the Telly. I was rewatching some of Campaign 2 of Critical Role the other day, and it got me thinking, what are the top 5 moments of Campaign 2, or at least my favorite moments? As always, this video is just going to be my opinion, so if I leave your favorite moment out, please leave it in the comments down below. I mean, so many crazy things happened throughout Campaign 2, it was hard to pick just 5. As always, if you enjoyed the video and learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I shouldn't even really have to say this, but obviously this video will contain spoilers for Critical Role Campaign 2. Okay, let's crack on. First, we're going to start off with some honorable mentions. 2 honorable mentions, in fact, because like I said, how could I pick just 5 moments from Campaign 2? First honorable mention comes at the tail end of the campaign in episode 136. The Mighty Nein journey through the ruins of Aor, Caleb reveals to Jester that her Crimson Weasel Sprinkle, who has been the butt of many jokes for almost 100 episodes at this point, miraculously avoiding death at every turn, is in fact an entity of her god, the Traveler. And let's just take a look at this absolute shock on the cast's face.
Could you see Artie?
I could see Sprinkle whispering in your ear.
Sprinkle's been dead for centuries.
Is that something that you have been keeping to yourself, or?
Wait, what?
Yeah, once when I was a monkey, and then later you talked to him again, and when you were talking to him,
Talking to
Sprinkle was
Sprinkle?
chittering in your ear.
You see, like, Sprinkle slowly emerge from around her neck and kind of look up with the eyes, and they kind of glance over of the weasel and go, "Well, how else was I supposed to save you and keep tabs on?"
Shut up! What's happening?
You're in hindsight.
Oh my gosh, and you've just been here the whole time?
Told you I'd be keeping an eye.
I love you so much, Artie.
Stick with
Sprinkle is the
for now.
Traveler?
Of course he is. That makes perfect sense.
The
Wait.
only reason he's still alive.
You're not entirely wrong, and it's been a journey.
What did you know?
No!
You weren't in close a proximity during.
I didn't see
I
it.
think we joked about that one night, but Weasel.
What?
Little stuff like this is why I love D&D and Matt's storytelling. Just the lighthearted nature of the entire encounter, as the campaign was at this point hitting the apex of its intensity. But don't think that this list is going to be all fun and games either, as our next honorable mention was one of the most intense moments of the campaign, where Fjord turned away from Ukotoa in episode 72. Fjord, awaking from a nightmare, finds that his powers are gone, unable to summon his sword. The sword, however, is resting on Bo as she sleeps. He takes it to the edge of the lava pool quietly, saying, "You need me more than I need you. Give them back," as he slowly begins pushing the sword into his chest.
You need me more than I need you. Give it back. Does anything happen?
Nothing seems to happen.
I push it into my chest.
And you press it in, you can already feel the blood beginning to trickle from the wound.
I'll take one step towards the pool of magma and I'll push it in a little further. I take the sword out.
Okay.
I hold it over the pool.
All right, you withdraw, and with that, it was like a gout of your own viscera kind of splatters across the exterior of the wall, and like begins to immediately sizzle and smoke.
Don't know how long I can hold this. And throw it.
Into the...
And there you can see it resting and slowly sinking into the molten rock.
This was really a pivotal moment for Fjord as a character, as Matt's one of the best DMs at really testing the relationship between Warlock and Patron, and it was really cool seeing Travis be able to walk away from everything at this point his character had been built on, out to the complete unknown. And honestly, one of the most intense scenes probably through all of Critical Role, as there's a world where this could have gone completely wrong, and Fjord just stabs himself falling unconscious into the lava or something. Number 5, our first entry, comes in from episode 97. Knott's curse is broken. After Jester's insane moment of tricking the hag Isharnai into agreeing to lift Knott's curse, the party head back to Jester's mother's house in the lavish chateau in order to perform the ritual.
And Caleb, you know, I love you. And you're the second love of my life. Thank you for being with me.
I love you too. Veth the Brave.
Well, we'll see. All right, glitter me, Jester!
As you finish the final rites, you finish the incantation with a shout. The clay shatters across the room. All of you are pushed back from the impact of this arcane shockwave. You feel the wood beneath your feet kind of growl and moan. There laying before you is Veth Bernardo.
Did it work? Sorry.
This is easily one of my favorite feel-good scenes of this entire campaign, not just because of the insane nature around everything that happened, but just seeing Knott's character arc come full circle. She's finally able to be with her family is amazing, as well as the heartwarming lines shared between Caleb and Knott, one of my favorite inter-party dynamics of this campaign. It was just an awesome moment altogether. Number 4, the death of Mollymock. After waking up and seeing that Jester, Fjord, and Yasha have gone missing, they meet a strange woman named Keg, who tells them that their friends have been kidnapped by a group of slavers known as the Iron Shepherds.
It is Lorenzo's turn. Lorenzo is going to go ahead and make 2 glaive attacks against you.
I think I have a second blood maledict usage now.
You're still level 5.
I know, and I have a thing here. I was looking because I know you changed things, and it says blood maledict. You can invoke a blood curse a number of times per short rest based on your level. 2nd 1, 5th 2, 9th 3.
Then yeah, go for it.
So I'm taking. This die rolls worse. Come on.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh, for f***'s sake. My blood maledict literally kills me. It knocks me unconscious. My own blood maledict knocks me unconscious.
Were you knocked unconscious?
I was 4 hit points.
You guys watch as Lorenzo takes, as Molly falls back and unconscious.
Real bad.
Lorenzo looks confused. So the first strike slams down into Molly's chest. The glaive, the blade actually sinking about 7 inches into the chest. Lorenzo looks back over towards Keg. This is bad. And looks up at you, Bo, and says, "An example it is." Molly, in the brief moments of consciousness, what do you want to be your last words?
Oh, no.
Wait, can I say wait?
No.
He's in it? It's done?
This is done.
With blood.
Oh, God.
As it kind of slams into his face. He goes, "Respect." And then twists the blade. The life leaves Molly.
In an unfortunate series of events, Molly knocks himself unconscious with his blood maledict as Lorenzo, the leader of the Iron Shepherds, strikes him down, killing him. A crazy, impactful moment, as any PC death is, but ones that come this early in the campaign are always tough. And the fact that Matt tied Molly's death into ultimately what would be the ultimate foe of Campaign 2 is even more crazy. Number 3, Virdiian is Vilya. Number 3 comes from episode 102. The party, after spending some time on the strange island of Rumblecust, have just exited a meeting with the reported god of said island, Ukotoa. Concerned for the well-being of the inhabitants of the island, the party come up with a plan to cast greater restoration on the villagers, as they believe the island, or possibly Ukotoa himself, is somehow controlling them. Their first target is the villager's spiritual leader, Virdiian, who, in one of the craziest plot twists, is revealed to be Keelat's mother, Vilya, who has been missing for 25 years.
A little put off by this, and as you kind of begin to reach out for her, she rears back and says, "What are you doing?"
Part of the ritual. It'll be fine. And I tap.
So you reach out and touch her with the final element of the ritual.
On her shoulder.
Oh, shit.
As you touch her, kind of like her eyes glaze over for a moment, and her eyelids close, and you see the flickering of rapid eye movement from beneath the eyelids. You see sweat begin to pour from the brow, and her arms begin to kind of dig into the rock around her. You watch as the wind that surround the floor, the base of the floor around her, begin to kind of whip up a bit, and her hair kind of drifts as it begins to encircle. Eventually her eyes open. Oh no. I'm so sorry. This has to stop.
We know.
What has to stop?
What this thing is doing to all of us.
What? How long have you been here? What has he done to you?
Where are you
been-
from?
Easy.
Sorry.
I've been here 25 years. I'm not Virdiian.
What?
I'm from Taldore. My name is Vilya. Yeah. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
She said she's
You
from
guys know who that is, right?
Right.
from Taldore, and she's from where?
Vilya?
No.
Come on.
Wait,
What?
Come on.
my mom?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
My mom?
No
It's not Keelan's mom! You
No.
cannot do this!
No way!
The sound will be fine! You knew it! He's the one that
I
got
found
it!
out 10 minutes ago and I told Liam.
Oh my god.
How did you find out 10 minutes
She's a
ago?
crazy f***ing druid, that's why
That just
she's a
totally
crazy
disappeared.
f***ing druid
That
that totally
totally
disappeared.
disappeared.
It got sucked in through the water plane! What is happening? Wait, what?
Well, you broke Marisha. You're happy.
Genius level shit, Matthew Mercer.
Sitting on that for a little.
Genius.
Sitting on that since campaign 1. And
Oh my god.
So good.
We are
So good.
Truly one of the coolest moments in Critical Role history. I also love how Sam figured this out, possibly like a few moments before Taliesin actually casted the spell. You can see him text Liam, and Liam responds out loud, "Wow, that would be a long gameplay," or something along those lines. This shit right here is also just some absurd world building if Matt really had designed this place in Ukotoa back in Campaign 1, but left it as an unknown thread to be explored all this time. That shit's just mind-bending to me. Number 2, the resurrection of Mollymauk. Coming in at number 2, all the way at the end of the campaign in episode 140, is Molly's resurrection. After an insane life-threatening battle for the fate of the world, where multiple members of the Mighty Nein almost died, in fact I think Caleb did die if I remember correctly, the party, after saving the world, attempts to revive Lucian in the hopes it will bring Molly back, as this really was the motivation since his death all the way back in episode 26. However, after a tear-tugging raise dead ritual, the dice don't fall the party's way as Matt rolls a nat 1. Just when you think the emotional roller coaster is over, Caduceus quietly casts Divine Favor, succeeding with a 2% roll, bringing his other character Molly back to life.
very
Minutes
quietly
left. Now is the time.
in the corner cast Divine Intervention. I'm just sort of curious. Please tell me what this means, because I'm tired.
Did you succeed? Did you just succeed again?
Rolled 2%.
You really did?
I did. Whatever it was, just put it back. I think they've earned it. Put it back.
I fucking love this game.
Did you fucking roll a 0-2? That's what happened? Holy shit.
Of all the fungus and moss that has grown through the decomposition, more plants begin to grow as well. And ferns begin to bloom and blossom out of the ground surrounding his body. Begin to encase it in a way that's oddly familiar to one of you. Your eyes open for the first time.
Bolts up and runs.
No! I chase after.
This is up there with one of the most D&D of all D&D things happen in a D&D game. Does that even make sense? The dice giveth and the dice taketh. Moments like this are why I love D&D. Just when you think we aren't gonna get the happy ending, fate takes a turn, and it's these moments where the dice align with amazing roleplay that I live for in D&D. Number 1. Jester and the Dust of Deliciousness. Could there really be any other possibility for number 1 than possibly the hypest moment in Critical Role history? This moment was mentioned earlier, but at number 1, coming from episode 93, we have Jester's swindling of a Sharnai the Hag with her cupcakes and Dust of Deliciousness.
Have we a deal? As she leans forward, seeming to consume the interior of the chamber, looming over and down upon you, the one lengthy hand reaching out like this.
Well, hold on. Maybe before we make the deal, I can eat one last cupcake. You know, since I won't be able to do it. Will you split this cupcake with me? Have you ever had a blueberry cupcake?
I don't believe I have.
See, I'm using my fingers to break it in half.
Oh my god.
Make a persuasion check.
24.
She reaches out and grabs the other half of the cupcake. It's so small in her long, curled fingers. Kind of.
That was sprinkled with the dust of deliciousness.
Okay.
And it also gives you a disadvantage on wisdom checks and wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Modify Memory. Did I succeed?
Yep.
What?
I'm going to make her believe that she enjoyed my company so very much that she agreed to end Knott's curse because she liked hanging out so much. And she hasn't had good company in a very long time.
Yet another moment that epitomizes everything I love about D&D, from Laura's planning and strategy to her amazing roleplay, topped off and tied nicely all together by the dice falling in her favor. Truly, this is peak D&D. I'm sure she probably talked about this in an episode of Talks, but I'd love to know when she decided to commit to this plan. Because wow, was it all just so well thought out. I mean, she had those cupcakes for a little while up at this point in the campaign. I mean, just look at the shock on Matt's face. He really bought this hook, line, and sinker, never saw it coming, which is a credit to Laura and Jester as a character, as her goofy, fun-loving attitude could make literally anyone drop their guard. And I mean, who couldn't accept a cupcake coming from this face? That's it for my top 5 moments of Critical Role Campaign 2. I know there's plenty of other moments we could have included on this list, but this was just my personal 5. I'm sure if I were to make this list again next week, it might be 4 or 5 completely different moments. As always, if you enjoyed the video and learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop me your top 5 moments in the comments down below. As well, click a video on screen now, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace, love.